Etheria Restart. Welcome to a new episode of Pull That Waifu. I imagine by now some of you are saying that with me, so that's just awesome. Continue doing that. Now, of course, in today's episode, we're going to be pulling this beautiful waifu who's dressed to impress with the good stuff. So this is definitely a character that I absolutely must have. So the question is, how many 10 pulls will it take to pull this character? That's the goal. Now, we got a little bit of a double header this time, because not only are we pulling for this beautiful waifu, we also have an SR. Oops, wrong thing. Hold on. Probability is what I want to click on. There is a new character here that we get to pull on named Sylph. So a new SR is always great, especially for people who cannot afford to get the premium character. You can at least sometimes get an SR that's decent too. Because I'll be honest, in my early days of playing this game, I literally depended on SRs to clear content because I could never fully build an SSR because they take forever. So getting new SRs is great, especially with the way the economy is for building characters. Just awesome. And then, of course, after we pull the characters, we'll take a brief look at what these characters do. And then I'm also going to go over the current events we have because I've been wanting to talk about how I feel about these events, because some of these events I like and some of them I actually hate, and I just kind of want to get my thoughts out there to the general public and maybe the devs. So, you never know, sometimes they could watch. So today we have about 45 premium pulls, because this is a premium character, and I also have 29,000 gems. This should be more than enough to pity. Now keep in mind that since this is a premium character, if you're using gems, it's going to cost 3,000 to do a 10 pull. Whereas with a basic character of the red, green, and blue colors, it's only going to be 1,000 gems. So just remember that the yellow and purple characters are going to be 3k apiece because they are considered premium characters. And since I do have some premium characters built, I can tell the difference between, how well a premium character operates versus, a standard character. So I see why some of these characters are more expensive. All right, so enough stalling. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to use our first 10 pull tickets, or horseshoes in this case, because that's what they look like. They look like horseshoes to me. Yeah, of course not. Hey, we got the new SR in the very first 10 pull. That's awesome. I'll take that. And I do plan on building the SR as well. I think that she has potential to be pretty cool. All right, let's do 10 pull number 2. We did get on the first 10 pull. We got the new SR. Another Sylph. Beautiful. I'll take that. All right. Oh, wait, do we get 2 of them? Oh, that's awesome. I'll take that. Hey, getting some dupes, I'll take it. All right, 10 pull number 3. Let's do this. It's gonna be on 30 pulls here. Nothing great here. All right, we got Sylph again. So I think that's a total of 4 of the SR that we pulled so far. Pretty cool. All right, 10 pull number 4. So this will be 40. Just remember the last of my horseshoe tickets. We've got 5 of the new SR. I'm actually surprised how often I'm getting this new SR. Typically they don't come this rapidly. All right, so we're at the point where we're gonna have to use basically our gems to do these pulls. So I don't mind. This is a character that I want really bad, so I'm willing to spend the gems. So let's do it. We're gonna spend 1,500 because I already have 5 pulls ready. So I just need half a 10 pull in crystals, so that's 1,500. So 50 pulls. Do we get her? Not this time. And we did get a yellow SSR. I'm sorry, SR. I don't know if I have her maxed or not. Oh, I do already have her maxed, so it's just kind of extra stuff. All right, so this will be 60 pulls. We're getting close to that pity. All right, we got another Sylph. I think we're going to be able to completely max out the new SR, which is great. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that we will be going to pity today, which I was mentally prepared for that. Anytime I play a gotcha game, I fully expect to have to pity because that's just how it is in these games. All right, we're at 70, I believe, so spending a full 3K. All right, so the SR that we got, the purple one on the very right, I've been using her a lot lately. She's so good. I think I made a video talking about how I thought she had some potential. She's actually really good. But we got into the sylph, so that's great. We actually have all the dupes that we need to fully max her out, so that's pretty cool. So we are at pity at this point. So let's go ahead and spend 3K and get the pity, because it is 80 to pity and it's guaranteed in this game, thank God. And there is a very beautiful waifu. Look at how nice she's dressed. High heels and all. That's what I'm talking about. This is Raymerry. Alright. Let's go ahead and back out of here. We got what we came for, plus some, to be honest. Okay, so let's briefly go over this character. This isn't going to be like an in-depth guide or anything. I'm not a guide maker. I'm, like I said, I'm more of a casual person who likes to collect waifus, so, you know, don't expect me to tell you something you probably don't already know. But a couple of things I want to bring up. With her first skill, she has the ability to potentially insta-kill an enemy if their HP is 15% or less when the skill triggers. That basically does what's called terminate. Now, a very key thing to note, this does not affect bosses. So this is more something that you want to do like in a PvP scenario for anyone that's super tanky. But if you get them down low enough, she can basically finish them off with this first skill. Pretty cool. And if you're trying to get a stun, you may want to increase her effect hit rate if that's where you want to go. If you don't care, you can focus on other things, because there are other things in her kit that can do various things. She's a very, I don't like to use the term diverse, but she is kind of a diverse character where you can kind of build her in multiple ways. Now, she is an HP scaling character, so I would highly recommend building for HP first and foremost. If you care about the stun in her S1, go ahead and do effect hit rate, but let's look at some of the other stuff. Now, this, I don't think you really need to build anything specifically for this. This is just something that can deal damage. This is just a passive, by the way. I'm sorry, this is more of a passive. This isn't like a damage thing. But for every 1500 damage the unit on the field takes, she gets a stack of something. If someone dies, she automatically gets the torment ability. So that's just something to consider. I'm not going to really talk about that too much. And in her S3, now this is why I said you may not want to focus too much on effect hit rate, because you might want to do crit rate as a main stat on one of your nodes. So in this ability, she does damage based on her max HP. Again, she's an HP scaling character. Basically guaranteed to do vulnerability, and if she crits, she has a 100% chance to steal 15% turn meter. And I understand that turn meter is kind of a big thing in this game. So if turn meter is more of a priority than the stun scenario, you may want to focus some of her main stats on crit. And if you're lucky enough to get like 100% crit rate, you still have a little bit of room, then maybe up some of her effect hit. But again, HP is number one. I would say crit's probably number two, because I think the turn meter still is a little more important than the stun. You can probably use a different character to do crowd control, but if you can afford it, work on all of it. HP, crit, and effect hit rate. I think those are like the main three things to focus on when you're building this character. So I think that she'll be really useful in PvP, but I think in a PvE scenario she will still be good, because even if you're, farming, for example, and you're not hitting a boss, you could still potentially insta-kill one of the mobs, is my assumption. So as long as it's not a boss, their first skill should be able to instantly terminate something. So she will be useful in all game modes. I think that she will be worth building. So that's just something I wanted to bring up. Now, let's briefly talk about the SR here. Now, She will be easier for most people to build. She'll be an easy character to pull as well. So if you don't have some of the better blue characters that are support characters, I think the shoe will be worth having. Something to take note of, specifically with her first skill, is she can heal. Now, here's what I really like about this ability. If the amount healed goes above their maximum HP, there's a certain amount that's converted into a shield. That's awesome, because sometimes, like when a character does a heal, but everybody's already mostly topped off, it feels like kind of a waste, whereas in this scenario, it won't be a waste. She can heal and then provide a shield for whatever's left with a certain percentage. So that's actually really nice. A very convenient passive. So if you didn't get, I think it's like Ninfo Neil, I think is a blue healer SSR. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the names very well. But if you don't have a blue new support character, I think she will be a good character to use until you're able to get the other one. Again, SRs are a lot easier to build than SSRs. So I strongly recommend using her if you're needing a good support that can heal and provide a shield. Specifically her skill 1. Now keep in mind that this shield absorb is only attached to her first skill. It says it as a passive, but it's literally written in the first skill. That tells me that in her second and third skills, the healing does not apply a shield. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm assuming because this shield passive is specifically attached to the first skill, I'm assuming you don't get the shield for the other two abilities. Because the second ability, basically, she purifies all debuffs on an ally and then heals 50% of their max HP. So I don't think you can get a shield. If you can get a shield, they should kind of maybe reword it somehow, but like for example, what they should have said, if this does apply to all skills, it should say, you know, any overheal on all skills will turn into a shield at the ratio. But it doesn't say all skills, it just says it does it. But since it's on the first skill, I'm only assuming this works on the skill 1. But if it works on the skill 2 and 3, that'll be great. But yeah, this second skill basically just cleanses all debuffs, which is very convenient, and then provides healing. And then of course, but let me back up here. There's a lot of characters that have come out recently that are HP scaling. So if you're building an HP scaling team, this whole healing max 50% of their max HP will be huge on a team with a bunch of HP scaling characters that you built that way. So that's kind of cool. I like it. And then her skill 3, I said I wasn't going to go do a deep dive, but that's kind of feels like that's what I'm doing right now. But basically, she deals damage to all enemies. Each attack purifies a debuff on all allies. Very convenient. Heals off for 30% of max HP. Again, another max HP thing. And applies the defense up for 2 turns. So this is a really good support character, and she's an SR, which means she's going to be extremely easy to build because you can get purple lattices pretty easily in this game if you participate in all the events. So I recommend if you did pull her and you don't have like a good blue healer or a support character, definitely build her up. I think she's one of the best like support characters when it comes to SRs, at least. Really, really good. So one other thing that I do want to talk about real quick, and then I'm going to also, I didn't mention this earlier, but I want to show you my characters that I have built so far for those who care about where my account is right now. But I want to quickly talk about the events because I've been wanting to discuss this for a while, and I think I'm going to be doing this every time we do an episode of Pull That Waifu because I think it's just good to know, at least for me, it's more content and more things I can talk about, and I want to give my opinion on this. So Cage Rumble. Now, we've had this for about a week already, so this is just, you know, the continuation of the event that we already have. Overall, I like this event. Basically, you're building multiple teams. Well, when you first, on day 1, you only have one team you can build, but as you're able to do more damage and get a higher ranking, it'll add a second fight, and then you'll eventually add a third fight if you do well enough in those fights. What I like about this is just being able to build 3 teams that attack at the same time. It's kind of fun because you can switch in between teams because they're all fighting at the same time. So you can just switch to like your second team and see how they're doing and all that stuff, and then switch to your third team, see how they're doing. It's all happening at the same time. A really cool concept. I like the way this event is. The other thing that I like about this event is if you do well enough on the quest, you can get gold lattice shards. These are extremely rare and hard to get in this game. So the fact that this event provides this as a reward makes this a top tier event. So I'm glad this exists. Obviously I'm not like built well enough to get the maximum prizes, but I do well enough. But I like the event overall. Infinity Trade. Now, I actually like this event. Basically, you build a team, but you're limited on which elements you can use, and you also have a special permit, which basically means you can use these characters even though they're not in the recommended elements to use in the fight. But basically the point is you build a team based off of your limitations, and then you have to basically pick which buff you want every 3 rounds, and you can use that to try to beat the boss. I was very lucky. I was actually able to fully complete this on my first go here. Typically that's hard to do, but and what was crazy about this is that the buffs I got, I wasn't really that big of a fan though. I felt like I was all over the place with my buffs, but somehow my team just did well. Maybe I just had a good setup of 5, and maybe I did better than I thought I would, but I don't usually clear Triple S very often. I think I've done it like maybe 3 or 4 times total now. So that was kind of cool. The only thing that I don't like about this event is that the prizes that you get do not include gold lattice pieces. So you're not going to get anything super great. I mean, you will still get resources, to help you with other things. But for building characters, you're not getting any lattices. So that's the only reason I don't consider this a top tier event. But I do think this is a fun event and that's worth having. And you can also get stamina too, if you're, grinding for your guild stuff. And then the last event I'm going to talk about, which is the worst event in this entire game, Champions Call. This is basically a wannabe sports betting event. You don't really do anything. You just basically go into predict your champions. You look at the teams that they are set up, and you basically pick which one you think will win. You don't really get any special prizes for that. I think you just get like gems, which gems are not bad since you can use them to get pulls, but I feel like this is a complete waste of an event slot. I'll be real. I would rather do something where I can physically interact and do stuff rather than just pick something and wait a few hours to see what happens. Like, this is a complete waste of an event slot. The most trash garbage event that we have. I absolutely hate it. I wish it didn't exist. There are so many other better events that we could have than this. I just don't like it at all, and I don't even participate in it. I don't care. This game really wants to push itself as being kind of an esports game, and I think they use Champions Call as a way to kind of promote sports betting kind of a thing for fun or whatever. And I know that there are some people that like that kind of stuff, it's a good like conversation starter. Like, hey, which of these teams do you think will win? Well, I like this character and these two really go well together, so they should win. So it can stir up good conversation. It's just not worth an event slot for me. I just don't like it. The prizes are not great, and you're really not doing anything in the event. Really, I don't like it. That's all I'm going to say. And also in the actual event tab, we have the this thing right here. It's okay. Basically, you just click go, and then it'll go around the ring, and you get random stuff here and there. Unfortunately, no gold lattices. However, you can get purple lattice when you get far enough. So at least you get something. So that's cool. I mean, I think this is an okay event to have. My favorite of these like event slot ones is the one where you have the dancing one, where there's like those 4 girls doing like a concert or whatever. and you have to like do certain quests, and you can like basically do a music thing, because you can get a gold lattice from that one, which is really cool. But this one's okay. Like I don't mind that this exists. It's okay. It's easy to do, and you can get some decent rewards, specifically the purple lattice. And you also can get the red shadow prints, which are important for, ascending characters basically. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, overall it's decent, and you do get a little shop that you can go to buy stuff if you want, so that's cool too. And you can get another purple lattice if you're building an SR. You can get some pull tickets. You can get more of that shadow print. So yeah, there are some decent stuff to get here, so I think this is a decent event. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've talked about everything that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you all for taking the time to listen and watch me rant about the game in general. This is a game I'm enjoying a lot, and I really look forward to do banners, because it gives me an excuse to make videos about this game and just talk. So just thank you for that. And I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching, and you take care. See you in the next episode of Pull That Waifu.